obviously a good win against a good team. One of the more skilled teams that we face, tremendous length and size, and I thought I was proud of the guys that we got the job done. Ultimately, I felt like we were missing a little bit of pop. I don't know what to attribute it to, but I was concerned about it in yesterday's practice that we were missing a little bit of juice tonight. Some of it, Chuck a little bit under the weather and some flu symptoms, and so we didn't have him at full strength, and our defense just wasn't great to start the game, and then we got better as the game wore on, but there was another level that I was hoping we would reach. The fact that what we did was good enough is a good sign, but we certainly got a long way to go.
You talked about practice yesterday, lack of pop, I think was the way you phrased it. How much of that was simply having, 10 days off since your last game? How concerned were you about rust coming back?
I wasn't, maybe I should have been more concerned about it, but, we had a similar situation going into the Florida State game, and it turned out to be really good practices and really good preparation that carried over into the game. And I felt just up until yesterday, we had some double sessions for 3 straight days, and they were great. Yesterday was the first time, and I could count them on 3 fingers, like the number of times I walked out of practice with some concern. And yesterday was one of those days, but then they came back and shoot around the day. They were terrific, engaged, and they came out of the locker room with some fire. But I think when the game started, the ball didn't go in the basket. And I thought even in the Murray State game, the ball was going in so much that we didn't defend the way we normally do. And we needed that tonight. And I think as the game wore on, we got better. So it's good. But I think the message is getting through.
Down 10-2, 3.5 minutes in, you guys then go on a 17-3 run. Did something just click? Was it defense turning into offense at that point? Just kind of
what? That was exactly it. We got some stops, got out in transition. We weren't making shots, and when we got in the half court, we were getting good looks, and they weren't going down. Chuck missed a wide open one first shot of the game. But we started getting in the paint. We started attacking the offensive glass. But it started with our defense, and I tell you guys, we try to get 3 consecutive stops from Park Hill. We did it 6 times in the first half, only twice in the second half. And I felt like if we could replicate that in the second half, then we'd get maybe have a chance to get some real separation. And we just didn't have enough pop to just take it to another level. And the way they are skilled, and the way they execute, and the way they can shoot the ball. You're always 2-3 possessions away for some real game pressure to enter into the situation, and fortunately we were able to avoid that.
In a bunch of games earlier this season, a lot of your points came from your backcourt. Tonight you outscored Charlotte 40-20 in the paint. Half of your points came from your 4 bigs. What would you say overall about the way your front court played tonight?
Yeah, a couple of plays stand out. Transition-wise, there were 3 or 4 over the top in transition, Keon and Reek in the open court. So that means they're running the floor, and we're looking for them, and we should. They did a great job on the glass, and Sam is starting to come into. I feel like this is going to be Sam's best year as a college basketball player. And he's going to be playing basketball for a long time, but this is going to be his best season. And he did not have a great game tonight and ended up with 12 and 6, and that should be routine for him. And I think he's capable of having a whole 12 and 6, and he did that tonight. And Reek's production was tremendous. We're just a little bit of juice away from having a tremendous performance.
You mentioned not really being able to create that big separation, but also it never got below 10, I think, until like the last 30 seconds there before Jalen's 3. But what does that do when maybe you weren't able to get that separation, but you aren't really letting them get back in the game either?
Well, it's good that we were making enough plays defensively. They still only shot, I think, 34% for the game, and they only made 2 threes in the second half. I thought we gave up too many drives, and we were just missing a little bit of juice, but I do, I got to get better at celebrating these wins, with these guys, because they did a heck of a job. But I'm with these guys every day, and I just think there's another level that we can get to, and because we're in conference play, I want it. I want us to start hitting it, and getting a win against a good team when we don't play our best is a good sign. But we gotta take another step.
You got scoring from 10 different guys, but your team also went 2 for 14 from the 3-point line. Was it one of those nights where just the shot wasn't falling, or was there something in the way Charlotte defended on the perimeter that gave you tough looks tonight?
Maybe a little bit of both, but I thought, when Chuck misses wide open, and I think as the game went on, some of our shot selections started to suffer a little bit. But in general, I think we got good shooters, and we're a good shooting team. I think it was just one of those nights.
Finished last season with 10 wins. You hit the 10-win mark tonight. I know you talked a lot last year about not necessarily counting wins, but progress. But what does it mean for this group to come in and have the success on the scoreboard and in the win column early this year?
One of the things we said as we were going through the year, and when the year was over, is that we're moving in the right direction. Maybe not fast enough, but I did feel like we were moving in the right direction, and I still feel that way. And I never thought this was going to be an overnight proposition, but everything I said at the press conference, I still believe, and I believe it even more now than I did when I said it. So I definitely think we're trending in the right direction, but I also feel like we got a long way to go. But I think what's happening now is that we're starting to develop a greater level of ownership among the players for this year's team. That our identity is starting to take hold, and that's a credit to them and the staff that they're starting to realize what it takes to win. And these guys are learning how to win in real time. We have a makeup as a team of guys that were either on really good teams but did not have a role at all, or guys that had a big role on teams that didn't win. That's the group that's learning how to win together. And so the progress that they've made is that's the context of it.
You have a tough one coming up, obviously, at Memphis. You've won 4 straight. You opened the conference schedule with your first win tonight. How are you feeling as far as how this little stretch is going to springboard you into a bigger game coming up?
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity for us against really one of the top 10 teams in the country. I don't know what they're ranked now, but there's not 15, 20 teams better than them, and there's no one who's played as tough a schedule as they've had. And for them to have so many new guys, so much talent, and to play such a tough schedule, I don't know what took them so long to get into the rankings, but they should have been ranked, 3 weeks into the season. They're really good, and it presents a tremendous opportunity for us. We're excited about it.